Well, good evening, everybody. Well, I'm joined by our latest signing this evening, Liam Daly. Liam, welcome to Stratford.
Thank you.
Now, I've been doing a bit of the old history about you, mate, and you've had some really, really good successes. Last season, of course, you were in with Rushall, and they got promoted from our league, and you certainly remember giving us a couple of tankings last year.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, it come out of the blue a little bit, really. I wasn't actually playing from the start of the season. I finished up the season before that at Kettering, and we just missed out on the playoffs. And work reasons, I wasn't going to play last season. Obviously, Liam McDonald, the Rushall manager, got contact with me because he had a little spell when I was at Solihull with him and asked me to come in and help out. They needed a bit of experience around and, just some extra voices in and around the game room. But ended up going in at Rush. Obviously, it was remarkable what they've done really with, you look at the size of the club and the budget they've got there, and to go and get promoted last game of the season against Nuneaton, which was one of my other previous clubs, was like, cherry on the top, really.
He certainly got a bit of experience in there as well, though. Wasn't Theo Robinson there and Hilton, I think. Jermaine Hilton, wasn't he there for a little bit as well? They had league experience, didn't they?
But Jermaine coming towards the end, he didn't play as much as he'd like to. But, look, they're strong at the back, Rushall, and they had, obviously, my friend Richard Batchelor was in there, and, he's what he is at that standard. And they had a lot of young lads with good quality, to be fair. And the thing is with Rushall, what was massive for them, it was their togetherness in the changing rooms. It was, it was spot on, to be fair. And every time they went out to play a game, we always believed we could win, do you know what I mean? And I think that dragged us through, over the final day. The teams you end up beating in the playoffs there, you beat Coval, who arguably were the best footballing team in the league that season, and then you go and beat Nuneaton, who, no disrespect, were throwing ridiculous money around trying to sign every Tom, Dick and Harry to try and get out of the league, and you go and beat them as well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, how did the move come about to Stratford then?
Well, basically, it was one of the hard parts of my career, really. I had a lot of stuff hanging over me, and I shouldn't have really signed for Starbridge when I did. Mark Yates was obviously the manager. Me and him done really well together at Solihull Moors, and I weren't in the right space, to be fair. And obviously, I'm not going to lie, I went there on big money for that level of football, and I brought with me a lot of experience playing in a lot higher leagues, and I think, I'll be honest, I was the first one to think like a bit of a stroll in the park, and I was playing with an injury and I just couldn't get going, and it was obviously Gav was number 2 there, and it was disappointing for everyone. I felt like I let a few people down, I let myself down, but sometimes in football things just don't work out, and that there's not many of them where I could say I've been at a club and it hasn't worked out, but that obviously was. And I'm good friends with Lee Vaughan, and obviously Vaughnie and Gav speak a lot, and I think between them they said, we could do like another vocal character and someone with experience. And no disrespect, I bring experience is something I bring in. You can't really get much more of it. So I think look, at the end of the day, they gave me a phone call. It was a no-brainer. Obviously Stratford's a lovely little club. It's trying to go in the right direction. I know Jed as well from when I was at Solihull, and it just fitted really. I've had a couple of other calls throughout the summer, but once I'd agreed with Gav, it kind of just shut the door on anything else really.
It's our gain, isn't it? That's brilliant. And Paul McCone, what do you know about him then? He's our captain, and he'll be obviously your centre half partner next year, won't he?
No, I've actually played with Paul McCone, and I don't know. I'm sure it was at Leamington. We played at Leamington for a bit together. And look, Paul McCone, he done well enough. I'm sure he played in the Conference North with me for Leamington, because I won the Southern Premier League with Leamington and went into the North. And I'm sure Paul played a few games with us at Leamington. And look, I've obviously played against Paul a lot now at this. He's a stand-on defender. He's good at what he does, and he's you know what you're going to get with Paul, and at the end of the day, once he gets on the pitch, he's 100% committed, and he's proven at this level. So I think form a good partnership, hopefully.
That's brilliant. How did you get on? Obviously, Rushall play on the old plastic pitch there and stuff. How did that do with your knees and all that sort of thing? Did you find any problems?
No, but to be fair, like I spoke to when I played for Gloucester,
yeah,
I think that was the first time I went on to the club I played for on 4G. I think it was, and I must admit, people are obviously saying you, and I actually now I prefer to play on the 4G. Don't get me wrong, it's not you have you feel you feel your body the next day, etc. But I just think, look, as you get older, I think it helps more of a leveler, because on grass pitches and you turn up on bad pitches, boggy pitches, it's key. I think it takes that extra yard off you. And listen, let's be honest, I'm 35, I've never been the quickest centre half in the world anyway, but when it comes to playing on that flat surface and 4G, I think it gives you a little bit of a bonus, like you're a bit quicker off the mark, do you know what I mean? So I actually prefer to play on the 4G now.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we lost five 3G pitches or 4G pitches last season, so I think most of our games have been on grass this year. But we're certainly looking forward to it. We had a fantastic run at the end of this year, which Vorney, I'm sure, will have told you about. And like you said, with the Rushall changing room, I think Stratford really turned it around with their changing room after Christmas. So I think you're going to have a really, really good time with us.
Yeah, look, I know a couple of the lads, as I say. I know Paul McCone, I know Lee Vaughan, I know Jamie Molyneux. I probably know a lot more players just off the top of my head, but I know that's one of the biggest parts in football. If you've got a happy changing room and everyone's singing off the same page, I find you'd be a lot more successful. When I won the league with Solihull Moors, the National League North, and went into the National League Prem, we had a great bunch of lads, and there was never any issues. Everyone was there for each other. And that's how I think it works. I think if you're all in it together, you're only going to go one way and not the other.
Well, Liam, pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you in person on the 22nd. And thank you very much for coming to Stratford, and enjoy your season, my friend.
No, that's great. Thanks a lot for the call anyway, mate. I'll see you soon.